Hello and welcome to the Baker College Administrative Professional Program Course 102. And I am going to review with you the Technology Toolbox. My name is Karen Potter. I'm the adjunct professor for the program at Baker College. And I would like to just kind of go over the rubric for this assignment and then show you some practical ways how you can actually set up your toolbox. So there are three main components to the toolbox project. It's actually listing the technology, so that would be the name of the technology, a hyperlink to that particular technology or website, how, when, and why you will use that technology, where you found it, or how you found it. And the second part of that is listing email systems. The technology toolbox will also include a list of different email systems that you could use as an administrative professional. That would include things like maybe Hotmail, Outlook, uh, Google Mail, a host of different systems. And you can discuss the pros and cons of each of those systems. So you will add that to your toolbox. And the last component is going to be the adding the document, the toolbox, to the Google Drive. So I'm going to show you how to do all of those particular things, but we're going to start with the basic creating the technology toolbox, and I want to show you what a toolbox could look like. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So the first example is a regular Word document with a title. Of course, you'll have a title at the top of your page, and of course, go through and clean up the formatting so that it looks presentable. And this will all be done, I think, at the end of the project, because right now you're going to be collecting information. So the first resource in my toolbox site called Rescue Time. It's a great resource that helps you track your time and figure out if you're being productive or not productive. And it runs in the background, gives you some detailed reports. It's just an overall beneficial program. I would suggest checking it out. So for me, what I did is I put the name of the resource. I put a little description of what it does and why I would use something like this. And then for me, I actually put the logo in there just to add a little visual appeal to this. Now, to add a hyperlink, you're actually going to, if you use the layout that I'm using, you'll actually highlight the name of the resource, right click, go down here to and paste the web address for that link into the actual address bar. Once you've got that cleaned up and it looks appropriate, go ahead and click OK. And now you've got an active hyperlink. I would prefer that all of you use hyperlinks for all of your technology related postings in the toolbox, because it's going to make it easier for me to validate that they are active and resourceful technologies that you have in there. So for the starting of the project, you're probably just going to develop a list, and you're going to start and a little description. As we proceed through the class, I would expect you to get into more detail, start adding your descriptions, maybe some logos. Another option that you have is the course rubric does require this in Word. However, I will allow you to deviate slightly if you would like to create something in like that. Here's another example of Evernote and why that might be a good tool to use. Remember the Milk is another great resource. And these are actually resources you may want to take a look at because they actually are extremely helpful. This format, you do add hyperlinks, and adding in a hyperlink in here is the same exact way that you would do Word. You need to make sure that you have it in here. I would prefer that you stick to the format because you're going to be adding this to your Google Toolbox, and I just want to show you quickly how to do that as well. So as you develop this, make sure that you save it in Google Drive. Right now I'm going to show you how to do that. So make sure you have your Baker College email address. You're going to click on this little group of boxes. You're going to go down to the Drive and click that. And once you are in, some of you may have never used this before, so you'll have nothing in your Google Drive, which is fine, but now you are going to go ahead and some things to put in here. So the first step is once you're in here, and you give the folder the name ADP 102. So you'll go ahead and type that in, click create. I already have an ADP 102, so I'm going to create an ADP 102-2 just so that we can walk through these steps together. So just 1 second while we do that. All right. So now we've got that and folder right there to the folder, and as you can see, there's nothing in there. So because this is where we're going to leave our toolbox for the whole class, and you're going to be sharing this toolbox with me, I'm going to go ahead and upload the file into this toolbox. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got your toolbox saved. So I'm going to go ahead and save this document, and it's going to be a document that you're working on throughout the course, so it should be a work in progress. I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and it's labeled Technology Toolbox, and it's saved. So now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to click Files, and I'm going to find that toolbox. Should be on my desktop here somewhere. There it is. This little window shows you that it's uploading. Once it's complete, you'll see that it'll be added to your toolbox. So now that it's in there, you can work on this anywhere you have access to your email account. So you don't have to worry about flash drives anymore, because this is accessible anywhere you've got an internet connection and you sign into your email address. So it's really a great tool. Now, once you've uploaded it, this little box should stay up, and there's a feature here, just click share. I need you to select that box, please. So now what you're going to do is you are going to share that with me. So you will actually enter in my information here, and because you're using your Baker email address, you will have me, or you should have me in your address book already. If you don't, you can enter in my address. So what I will do here is enter in, let's see, pre-fills. I'm just going to go ahead and enter in Karen Potter, and my email is right here, karen.potter@baker.edu. And then right here, you can actually put some additional features on that document. So maybe only I can edit or add comments or can view. I would like you to leave it open so that I can edit, because as I look at your toolboxes, I may want to add comments or make some recommendations. So please make sure it says can edit. And then make sure this box is checked to notify the person up here, which is me, that you are adding me to your document. Okay? Up here, who has access? Okay, you need to make sure that you go in and click change, and you need to make sure that you have specific people selected, okay, and click save. So once you've got that all set up, make sure you also send a copy to yourself, so that way if for some reason we get a couple weeks into this and I'm questioning whether or not you actually shared this with me or not, you have an email confirmation that you can forward to me showing that you did do it correctly, and for some reason I did not get your email. Make sure you do that, because that is your proof that you actually did follow these steps. Then you're going to click send, and it will send to that person an email saying you have been invited to share this document. There's also going to be a link right here. I would suggest, just as a backup, you copy that link, so you can just highlight it, right click, click copy, and maybe just go into your email and email it to yourself and just put it in one of your folders. Now, as you can see, I got an email here from myself saying that I've shared an item with you. So I will get an email from each one of you as you share your documents that say this exact message, I've shared an item with you, and then I will have direct access to it by clicking right here. It is important that you make sure that this is done correctly, and if you are having any issues with this, I would recommend that you rewatch this video to look at the steps that you need to take, As a last resort, you should be asking me for assistance. One of the things about this particular class at 102 level, we are really encouraging you to be resourceful and figure things out before you ask questions. So using Google Docs is something that you really need to become familiar with. It will be used throughout this program, and this video pretty much walks you step by step. If you need additional support, I would recommend that you Google how to use Google Docs and how to share documents in Google Docs, and first try to find the answers yourself. I will always insist that you seek out answers first before you get help from the instructor. And the reason I'm doing that is not to be harsh, but it's to encourage you to learn how to find answers. When you have a job, you cannot run to your boss and ask him how to do stuff all the time. You've got to be able to figure it out. That's what separates the unemployment line from highly desirable administrative professionals. So if you want to be that person that never has to worry about losing their job and is actually recruited away to better and bigger positions, you've got to learn to find the answers. Okay? So just as a reminder, you'll be working on you can create it in Microsoft Word. I would recommend doing that at first if but go ahead and make sure you do that. You also should into your documents with your name so that we know whose document this is. Go ahead and get some page numbers in there as well so you can add that to your paper so that it looks a little cleaner. Now at the end, of course, you can clean it up and really add some borders, or each technology can be on its own separate page, however you want to do it to make it look good. All right, so that's the basis of the toolbox. You'll have a rubric that will help guide you. There is a description of this project in our course documents. And if you have any further questions, feel free to send me an email at karen.potter@baker.edu. Thanks so much for your time.